No, it's John. Luke is long.
Yeah.
He's got lots to say. He's a doctor. That's his thing. John 19. 25 is the verse.
Yeah, there we go.
So that's all good.
All right. All right, the Holy Gospel according to John 19, 25 to 27.
Glory to you, O Lord.
And that is what the soldiers did. Meanwhile, standing near the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sister, Mary the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing beside her, he said to his mother, "Woman, here is your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Here is your mother." And from that hour, the disciple took her into his own home. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise
to you, O Christ.
Please be seated.
You want me to read right here, Pastor Mark?
You can read wherever you're comfortable.
Okay,
If you want to
awesome.
read down here, you can do that too.
All right, awesome. Okay, a Mother's Day message of strength and courage by Delberta Peterson. Mary the Mother. No woman in the history of the world has been so honored and so revered. She has become the embodiment of all that is fine and noble in womanhood. Mary began as an obscure peasant girl living in Nazareth 20 centuries before, but her story has spread to the ends of the earth. Though her life came to its tragic yet glorious climax at the foot of the cross, it continues to inspire and uplift. Though Mary suffered as much as any woman in the world's history, her suffering changed to joy at her son's resurrection. Mary's faith became evident in the very beginning, when an angel appeared to tell her that she had been chosen to bear a son who would be the Son of God. She accepted the Annunciation with faith and resignation, ready and willing to obey and sacrifice herself. Mary must have gone through all the beautiful and traumatic events which are particular to motherhood. She bore a beautiful child and saw him as an extension of herself. She taught him, she watched over him, fed him, clothed him, and gave her best to him so that it could be said of him that he increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. Mary must have marveled at what Simeon said to her about her child. "Behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel, and for a sign which shall be spoken against him." Mary must have questioned his prophetic words, though she expressed no fear when he said, "Yea, a sword shall pierce through thine own soul also." Strange new emotions must have entered her heart when at 12 Jesus said to her, "How is it that you sought me? Did you not know that I must be about my Father's business?" The gulf of his divine parentage had begun to separate her from her son. Then, of course, the motherly pride she must have felt with the first miracle at the wedding when Jesus filled the wine jars. What a great thing for a mother to witness. As Jesus began his teaching, he dismissed his personal relationship to his mother, saying that whoever shall do the will of God, the same is my brother and my sister and my mother. Mary no doubt was beginning to know that for those who live the life of the Spirit, the human family bond is transcended by a wider love. Her love, too, was enlarged, and consequently, she could bear more bravely what was to come, the crucifixion of her son. During the public ministry of Jesus, Mary had, obedient to his sign, kept away from him. For the period of Jesus' passion, she reclaimed her mother's right to be near the suffering and dying child. I'm sure she feared the events to come. Despair, panic, nausea, unbelief. All of these feelings must have coursed through her being when she knew they were about to crucify her son. Raising her grief-stricken eyes to the cross and witnessing the bruised and bleeding body of her son, remembering the mockery and degradation he had borne, her suffering must have been beyond endurance. And Mary must, as mothers do, have wished for the burden of his pain to fall on her. Mary had much to fear, but her knowledge of God and his promise sustained her, The mother of Jesus stood by the cross, a living monument of heroic strength and sacrifice. Mary did not lie fainting on the ground. Mary bore nobly such loneliness and heartache at the foot of the cross. Now countless people down through the centuries, in moments of anguish and pain, have found comfort in Mary's strength and grace under such extraordinary circumstances. Mary's silent endurance of what she could not change is her great lesson at the cross for the world. The last human tie to her son was breaking, but she had the fortitude and faith to remain with Jesus to the end. As Jesus hung from the cross, Jesus showed his tender love and concern for his mother in his last words. Jesus saw his mother and the disciple he loved standing together, and Jesus said, "Woman, behold thy son." And to the disciple he said, "Behold thy mother." Mary, Mother of God, a gift from God, a gift to our risen Lord, a gift to men and women today and for generations to come. Amen.
Amen.